Hello.
Mic check.
Hello.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Pa
arriba, pa abajo, pa centro y pa dentro. Okay.
That was another full one.
Welcome to the Mendigas podcast. Glad you guys are back. Oh, I'm a little scared. Okay, Mixie. So, on today's episode is gonna be Mama Luchona. So,
I said it wrong.
thank you for coming back for this. Okay. Wait. How do we start? Okay. My name is Mixie.
I'm Maria.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Malin.
I'm Savannah.
And here's my Vendi, Noah.
And this is the Mendigas podcast.
Yes.
Today we have our very first special guest.
We have two.
Plural. This is, Stephanie, like she said. And then this is my cousin, Jessica. And then she's holding also the very special guest, Avery.
Oh, what about this one?
She's the first Mendiga.
Oh, he was here last week.
Thank you.
He was here. He's here all the weeks.
Yeah,
so.
he's here all the weeks. It's fine.
He's a Mendigo at this point.
Yeah.
Anyways, we trying to multitask here.
This is we're gonna be speaking about mothers, and it's gonna be through Mixie's eyes, so it'll be very interesting. She's the one who's gonna be hosting today.
I'm a little scared.
She got a whole ass notes right
She's
here.
ready. She said
She's
studious.
She's ready.
That's all right. I was about to bring my notebook because I was like writing down.
She literally was like, do I need to take notes? Do I need to write stuff down? I said, nah, girl. You just answer,
Just be there. Just show up.
just answer questions.
Yeah.
She said I didn't have a notebook actually. I had to go buy one.
So my first question to you, ladies.
Oh, we're
going
diving
straight
deep
in.
right into it?
Look, we
Might
gonna
as
keep it
well.
simple, funny, and short, and God bless.
Okay, period.
Not God bless.
She said we don't got time. We're mothers.
This is proof that mothers are on a time crunch.
That,
She like, I got dinner to cook. I got kids to bathe.
wait. Okay,
Put
so
to
for
sleep.
For the
Literally.
introductions, hold on. Okay, so Mixie, of course, has 2 kids. I have 3 kids. 2 I birthed. 1, it's my stepdaughter.
I have 2 kids. 2 girls.
I have 2 boys.
No kids.
No kids.
Okay, so they don't
I
matter
have
right now.
I have a dog.
But we're on Tia vibes.
Yeah, we're
every
the
time we
best
come
Tias.
around our mama friends, we're on Tia vibes for show.
For
We
sure.
just wanted to
Yes,
also give
yes.
like perspectives from people who don't have children and what we see when
we
see
might
you
we
guys.
might put a little something.
Or if you guys have any questions, ask us and we can answer them.
you
Got
know,
lots of questions.
we definitely
for
see
sure.
y'all luchando.
We try.
Up in this life.
Malin be seeing me fucking life be knocking me down. So I'm like, let me help you real quick.
She got 2 black eyes. Shit.
Okay. So some of us are single, some of us are happily married, but you know we all still mamas and life is hard. My
Me?
girl Stephanie. Dang.
She got the whole last name.
Literally.
Legally.
I said happily married. Okay,
Literally.
Stephanie. I got
bitch of
you.
Franco.
I got you.
Don't let this ring you. This is just for show.
But you know what? That's manifestation.
Are you married though?
I'm not. No.
Oh, you're not,
but,
okay.
She manifesting though.
Can you hear her?
I
Right.
do got a man.
If you listen, he's getting the point. Huh?
Yeah. He's gonna be watching this one.
We're giving another hint to another Mendigo
another,
husband
right,
or future
right.
husband.
Anywho, so my first question is, did y'all get the epidural?
I did.
Straight up,
Damn straight.
baby mama.
Yeah, no. I literally could not last. I could not last. I really thought I could. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. And as soon as the contractions got super longer and more consistent, I was crying. I was like, nope, give me it. Give me it.
Okay,
give me it, give me it.
genuinely, what does that feel like?
Honestly, it doesn't hurt as bad as you think.
A contraction or the epidural?
Both.
Yeah.
The contraction, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yes.
I feel like it literally is like cramps, but times 10, and it shoots all the way to your back.
Oof.
See, I don't get
Yeah.
cramps very
And it
often.
makes you shit yourself.
So that's why.
Just
That's wild
Well,
too.
we know she had no accident during delivery out here.
I actually didn't poop both times.
My tia, when she gave birth, she got epidural, but she gave birth in 2006. So I don't know if it was like as prominent as it is now to get epidural or not, but like that messed her up. Do you guys have any like side effects from epidural?
I actually do. So
But
when it's
wait,
cold,
wait.
yeah.
Getting into that whole side effect thing, Let me just say, because Mexican mamas do not believe in epidurals.
No.
That's where like the side effects come in clutch because they believe in all that shit, which I feel like some is like, okay, yeah, it's true, but Mexican moms do not believe in no epidural because they had 10 kids with no epidurals in Mexico.
You know what?
Yeah,
I do have to say,
13.
I've heard a lot of stories like that of like, you know, people from Mexico that they're like, oh, pues no me dieron nada, I didn't, you know, and
I feel like they look
me dieron
down on us
fuerza de
that
Dios.
we do get the epidural because they're like, oh, we only have 2 kids and you got the epidural. Like, you couldn't even do one without no epidural.
Wow,
no,
that's-
ma'am.
Well, that's where the generational curse comes in, or like the trauma or whatever that we're trying to break. We're trying to love ourselves.
Our grandmother, she actually had 13.
13.
Yeah, that's you.
13 siblings, and our moms are actually the youngest, and they're identical.
And they're
twins.
twins. That's why I always
my
like
mom. Her personally, she was never like that. But then again, my mom really didn't have a choice. She had to get a C-section with all me and my siblings.
Okay.
And there's 4 of us. So she was never really like into like the tradition stuff, you know, other than like
That's good.
other than like remedies like Vicks and Sprite like everywhere, you know.
Sprite.
But no, when it comes to like me having my boys, she was just like whatever makes you comfortable. And going to the epidural, I do want to say every woman is different. And like me, I wanted to go as far as I could. I only made it to like, I was like 4.5, 5 centimeters dilated, and I was like, nope, I'm ready for it. Bring it in.
Bring in the juice.
Bring it in. And with my second one with Leo, I got the epidural, and it actually only worked on one side.
Oh God.
So I was numb on my left, and on the right, I went all the way to like 8, almost 8.5 centimeters, and just feeling it on one side. And let me tell you, just feeling it on half side
Was
every
cannot
contraction, I
imagine.
felt like I wanted to throw up, and I felt like I wanted to faint. But that's me personally. So props to the girls that
So the girlies who don't.
that did not get the epidural and that can do it the I don't want to say natural way, but just without it.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot.
Listen, if I ever give birth, give me every drug you got, like
Yeah.
all of it, the epidural, the whatever, the
Because we got it,
anything,
so
all
why not use
the oxycodone,
Right.
all that stuff. Like, I don't want to remember anything. Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this, but they'll give you like a button to push.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Beep
to
beep
give
beep
your-
beep beep.
There's a time limit on it.
Oh,
It's
damn.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
never
It's
mind.
like
But like, you've
15
exceeded the
minutes.
time.
With me, I hate to say this, but it's like I told the nurse, I was like, hey, I'm still feeling it like really bad. So they came and they were like pushing like extra shots like in it, and it just wasn't working. But by the time they got it in, it was like it all. I didn't feel nothing.
Well, picking back off of that, I had the same thing with my last. I would feel it on one side, then the other. So I would let the nurses know, like, hey, I only feel it on this side. So what they would do is they would shift me, and they would move me in the bed. And mind you, when you get the epidural, you can't feel anything from the waist down.
Bro,
So,
your
like,
legs be like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, your legs feel like bricks. So, like, you literally could lift my leg, and I would not be able to feel it. It would just, like, plop down like nothing. So they would lift, like, shift me to one side so that the epidural can get to the other side where it wasn't getting. And then when I finally felt it on both sides, they would lay you back down like normal. But I spoke up. I was like, like, I can feel it. Like, I do not want to feel shit. Like, I want to push this baby out, like, comfortably.
Yeah.
And then I feel like when you get the epidural, it's also like you get that moment with your child. You're not in pain. You're not
That's true.
not enjoying it, if that makes sense. Like, you get to enjoy that moment with your child and not be in like a lot of pain.
I love that you said that because I honestly think
I
that
didn't think about that.
that the after time, because I bet, you know, a lot of the people that did do it naturally probably had a rough time a little after.
But then again, like, you have the baby that you've been cooking inside of you for so long that you forget it. Like, granted, yes, I got the epidural twice, but like you just
It's that
forget
mom
it.
stuff. It's just
mom's,
that
like,
mom
yeah.
and child
Strength,
moment.
they
The first,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
can
then
only imagine.
also you can have a good birth. Like, I only pushed for 15 minutes with her, and she was out. It was great, cool. Afterwards was traumatic AF. I was bleeding so much. My placenta got stuck. It was getting out in chunks. The doctor was literally elbow deep in me and scraping out the rest of my placenta, and then I was bleeding so much. I had Avery in my arms, and I was passing out while I was holding her.
Oh my
and I was like, somebody
gosh.
needs to take the baby. And I'm over here thinking I'm yelling at these people to take my baby, because I'm like, I'm about to pass out. And I was trying to nurse her, and it was bad.
Okay,
It was bad.
okay. Was this right when you were birthing her that they were trying to take out all the placenta?
No,
or?
so the placenta comes out after you push the baby out. So you're basically giving
it's
birth
basically
twice.
Giving birth twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to birth your child, and then you birth the placenta.
They don't
Which
show that in the movies.
Usually, if everything's okay, it'll just come right out.
Yeah.
But mine got stuck.
Oh my
and was coming out in
gosh.
chunks.
It can.
I did not know that for real.
It's traumatic. It's
FR.
crazy.
I don't know.
So
We're sitting here
I
like.
thought it was just a one done deal.
I'm so glad I'm sitting
Unless
next
you're
to
having
Malin right
twins.
now.
So like she said, everything can go fine with the labor, and the delivery part, but sometimes the aftermath. So like with Jackson, my oldest, I was in labor for 12 hours, and I only pushed him out in it was 5 minutes, and afterwards,
You want to give it?
sorry.
Switch.
Go ahead and hold the. Now that you have your free arms, go hold the mic closer.
Closer? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it picks it up so much better.
Okay. So after my first Jackson, after I had him, it was I remember my parents had left, people were leaving, and of course you're in the delivery room for up to 3 hours after you have the baby. And I just remember kind of getting a little dizzy and a little nauseated, and they're like, okay, but I noticed the nurses were watching the monitor, and they took the baby, they took Jackson, and they said, here, Dad, go ahead and hold him. And I'm still okay, I still don't feel good. And then I heard them talking, and next thing you know, I started having tunnel vision. Everything around me was black. Long story short, I was having postpartum hemorrhaging.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And it was I hope we're going to put a disclaimer, but pretty much it's just they were pushing on my stomach. And from what my boyfriend said, he goes, they look like softball size blood clots just coming out. And I could feel them. And they had me laying flat. So it's it just goes to show that everything can go perfectly fine. And then
Until delivery.
and then the aftermath.
Did they tell you why that you got that?
It happens.
No, it just happens.
And you can literally have your child and it be hours. You could be up walking, and then you can have a hemorrhage.
Mhm.
And people women die. It's
Oh, yeah.
insane. It's really crazy. But then not only that, I was doing really good. She was really good on the monitors before I started pushing, and then once she came out, her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck twice. And Angel was even that's the part that freaked me out, because and then at that point the doctor started kind of whispering, and I'm and the doctor that was delivering her was did you know, it's called something, I don't know. And I was excuse me, what? But her vitals were fine, everything's fine. Usually when that happens, the baby goes into distress and stuff like that. So, but thankfully she's fine, and here she is trying to grab the mic right here. But yeah, so it's traumatic. So
Yeah.
that's why I say, if you want to not have kids, I don't blame you.
Yeah, and everything's different. So it's so that was with my first. With my second, I went ahead and got induced. I was induced with both. And with him, I was 29 weeks when I was induced, and thankfully, looking back on it, I'm so happy I made that decision, because he actually pooped inside, and that's called meconium, right? So when they broke my water, the doctor didn't want to show me, but when she wiped, I saw greenish, and I knew what it was, and I was what is that? And she goes, everything's fine. It's just be prepared whenever he comes out. There is going to be a NICU nurse.
Okay.
And we're back.
You were saying, girl. You were saying. You saw the green.
Yes, and no, and they just said that be prepared for NICU nurses to come, whatever. But no, long story short, everything turned out fine. He didn't have any breathing problems afterwards, and
Thank God. It'd be the little things sometimes that make you question, do I want to go through it again?
But it just goes to show that I am so sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
It just goes to show that everything, every child, every pregnancy is different. So be prepared for that.
My second question would be is do you think that you parent your kids the same way that your parents raised you?
Hell no.
No.
With the same beliefs? Maybe? Damn. Y'all said hell no.
No.
I'm like,
A little bit? No?
Damn,
You guys don't think there's like a little bit of culture?
For me, it's a little more yes than
I know,
then
I
no.
think so. Me too.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
No.
No.
Everyone's just raised differently.
I mean,
maybe.
mind you, I feel like, okay, definitely should put a disclaimer at the beginning of this. But I was raised in a very, like, domestic violence,
Okay, yeah, that makes
violence, you know, kind of home, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, my mom used to beat me. Like, it wasn't like a, like, oh, slap on the butt, like, you did bad. Like, she would beat me.
Okay,
And
yeah.
my dad used to beat my mom. So it was like the way I grew up is not the way that I
That you're
want my
trying to-
kids to grow
yeah,
up. Yeah.
That's definitely understandable.
You know, I do catch myself in little moments where, you know, you do get a little spank here and there, you know, but the way that I'm raising them is completely different than how my parents raised me.
Okay, well that's good, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. Okay, that's good. Mine is more, like, I don't remember, but, like, yes, my mom, I know she would even tell me, like, I would have to spank you, blah, blah, blah. But also, without bashing my mom's a good mom. Like, I am going to be more present when it comes to, like, Noah doing sports. My mom was always working as well, like, okay, so she couldn't go to a lot of my sporting stuff, but, like, I want to be there. Like, I want to be there. And then, like, getting after my kids, instead of just yelling for no reason, like, instead of being like, hey, stop, I want to be like, hey, you need to quit that because of this, like, type thing. And that's what I do a lot with Noah, which he's gotten spanked before, yes, but his dad and I, the way we co-parent, like, we're very, like, we want to communicate with him first.
Yeah.
And that's why he's such a smart ass. Because, like,
He's too smart.
He's too smart for his own good. Like, I'll just, like, tell him different things. Like, for instance, yesterday, he wanted to help me do the dishes, and I had put a knife in the sink. And I'm like, do not touch that knife. And before I could even say why, he was like, oh, because it's sharp and I can hurt myself. I'm like, exactly. Or, like, he gets very upset when you tell him certain things. Like, no, let's not do that right now, whatever. And he'll be like, huh. And I'm like, okay, dude, it's cool to be upset. Nice, awesome. But I'm telling you no because we're going to do this later, or, like, no because whatever.
Right.
So I do more of explaining why he's getting in trouble, or, like, why I'm getting after him, rather than just no, like, just yelling for no reason.
That makes
Don't
sense.
get me wrong, I raised my voice, but I'm going to tell him why rather
Yeah.
than just, like, making him feel like shit for it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put some input on that, even though I don't have kids. But I know when I do feel like there are some things that I'm going to take from my childhood that I'll probably do differently. Like Maria said, like, her parents probably worked a lot. And I do feel like my parents worked a lot growing up. So, like, even though they were great parents, did everything that they could, like, we were financially provided for and whatnot, like, they didn't know about signing us up for sports. So there's also that, I guess, kind of like, you know, a lot of Hispanic parents that they don't really, like, know everything that the school has to offer. And so, like, my parents rarely put us in sports. They did it a little bit more with my younger sister because of her friends were doing it. But I kind of wish they would have done that with me. And then I kind of wish they would have, like, come to more things. But again, I don't blame them because they just didn't know and they were just working so much. And I kind of feel like if I ever become a parent, I want to have the time to do all those things.
But see, like, I think, like, because I feel like we all have that kind of in common. I feel like I personally, like Maria had said too, like, her mom was working, so I feel like my parents would always be working, so they wouldn't come out to, like, my sports, my track meets, basketball games, because they were working. But we, as U.S. citizens, like, we know English. Our jobs are different now. Like, their jobs were harder as immigrants. Like, to take.
My mom ain't an immigrant, so
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Oh my
yeah.
I
God.
was like,
But
Yeah. But, like, yeah, like, that's,
I'm
I
just
guess that's what
saying-
I was trying
I'm
to
just saying,
say.
like,
Yeah.
we have an advantage that they didn't.
Yeah. Like, my parents worked probably from, like, 4 a.m. to, like, 8 p.m., like, Really, like both of them 2 jobs when we first came to the U.S. Both of them just like we barely saw them. So really, like growing up, my older sister raised us.
So maybe that's why our parents were like always like yelling at us, or I don't know. I'm not trying to give them a reason, a way out, because I feel like
I agree with that, because my mom, mostly my grandma raised me, because my grandma was the one that would stay with us. But my mom, we would see her when we woke up for school, just on her way out. She would say, you know, bye, have a good day at school. And then we wouldn't see her until that night when we're already going to bed. So
at that time, she was probably already tired, exhausted.
Yeah. So I will say that my mom was very, very hard worker, and she was a single parent. Like towards the time I was from, I think I was like 9 or 8. That's when she completely did it by herself. And it was 3 of us. So she did work very, very hard, and I will give my mom that. But I feel like she just wasn't a present parent. Yeah. You know, and that's what the only thing I want to do now with my kids is be present. Yeah.
So that goes to my next question, because
just let me see the wording. Let me see my wording real quick.
No, so I was gonna say, so I mean, would you guys prefer stay-at-home mom or full-time mom, or a part-time job?
Ooh,
stay-at-home mom or part-time
or full-time?
I did both.
Or career.
So I did both. I feel like I have both sides of the spectrum. Right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Love it. Go crazy.
Goals.
A couple days, right? But before that, I worked. So, like you guys know, I was in the Marine Corps, right? And when I had my daughter, Sophia, I was still in the Marine Corps. So I was active duty. I would work, obviously, full-time. I had a pretty crazy schedule. Sophia would go to daycare from 5 in the morning until, like, 5:30 at night. So she would be there for, like, 12 hours, right? I would get her. She would be home with me for dinner, bedtime. Same thing, the whole week. And then we would have weekends. I feel like the only thing is, like, I started to feel like my mom not being as present with working full time. And I just felt like other people were raising my kid, you know? And obviously everyone has to work, so I'm not like bashing any other moms that are full-time moms, because I was a full-time mom. Like, I would work full-time, you know? But I feel like it's different when you finally become a stay-at-home mom, that you're like, oh man, I get to raise my kid. I get to be there. I get to take them to school. I get to be there when they get off school. I could take them to all their games. I could take them to all their appointments. I don't
if
have
they're
to worry.
sick, you don't have to worry about it because you're there.
You don't have to worry about calling in.
Basically calling into work and doing all of that. It is tough. I will say that. I feel like it's a very, very hard job being a stay-at-home mom, because you don't get a break. I can't even go to the bathroom without my children following me to the bathroom. I barely get to eat because, you know, I have to feed my kids first. And by the time they get done eating, I'm like 2 bites into a sandwich or something. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes my, you know, because I have to do nap times. I have to do cleanup, you know. And then my husband gets home. He's great. Love him. He helps me out. He makes sure that I get the chance to shower. I get the chance to eat, you know. And me and him work as a really good team. But when I first started with Sophia, because obviously Sophia is his stepchild, I didn't really get a break. You know, I worked all day, came home, and then I had Sophia. So I didn't have my partner to help me. So I'm very grateful for my husband now, because now I get a break from being a stay-at-home parent. Yeah. But he gives me the opportunity to be a stay-at-home parent because he works so hard.
That's good. Yeah. What about yourself?
So I guess I'm a little bit of both right now. So my work schedule, my family owns a bakery. So our schedule's early in the morning, like
getting that dough ready.
Well, yeah, like yeah, because we open and we open at 5:30. We open at 5:30, but so like my schedule looks from around 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. and then I get off at 6 a.m. Go home, and then that's when my boyfriend gets up, and then he has to be at work at 7. By that time, the kids are asleep, so I'm starting to do this thing to where I don't go back to sleep when I get home. I just go ahead and stay up, get the dishes done, do whatever I have to do, and then once the boys get up, you know, be with them, and then usually around 12 o'clock, it's like 12 on the dot, we'll go lay down, and that's when
How old are your boys?
3 and 1.
Oh, they're little.
Yeah, they're little. Yeah.
But when nap time hits, it's nap time.
It's nap time, because that's when mommy needs her little bit of rest.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like I said, it's a little bit of both, and thankfully on the weekends, you know, I'm so grateful for my boyfriend Emilio, because he on the weekends he doesn't work and he picks up like whatever I'm slacking, like because he knows I'm tired and I work longer days on the weekends, and so whenever I get home, I go straight to bed, and he sends Leo with me at 12 o'clock, and so he lets me pretty much rest, and
that's amazing.
And that's on Healthy Dads.
Yeah. For real. Shout out to Emilio, Aaron, and my boy, because you haven't gone, so continue.
With Angel, yeah. So I am a 2-job mom and 2 kids that I birthed, but like with Mia, which is my stepdaughter,
3 kids.
I do got 3 kids, but like with Mia, we only have her on the weekends, and then with Noah, we have him every other week. This is the first kid we got 25/8 over here, but it is hard, and I definitely applaud Stephanie for staying home, because I don't think I could. Even if Angel was like, hey babe, I got us locked down, you don't have to go to work. No, I'm gonna find a bartending job and I'm gonna keep working. But it's also just because I had postpartum depression with Noah and didn't really speak about it, but that shit was hard. And so, not saying that I would never want to be alone with my kids or like just raise my kids, blah blah blah. Like I'm still raising them, like I am still doing that, but I know my mental health, and I know that I just need, kind of little breaks to like just breathe and be to myself. And if that is working, it's working. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, the whole overstimulated thing is true. But anyways, with this pregnancy, also with Noah, his dad and I co-parent very well. Like I said in past episode,
very well.
I don't have anything negative to say about him as a father. Together in a relationship, we were both awful. Like that's why the relationship ended. We split up right before Noah turned 1. So during that pregnancy was rough. When Noah was baby was rough. This time it was a lot different. It was a healthier relationship, and the pregnancy was different. The after when we were home was different, and I loved it because I was like, oh my God, like I don't feel like I'm going insane. And with Angel, he is absolutely incredible. Like he took on Noah, and he's just a great dad. Like I'm very, very happy and blessed to be being on this little life journey with him.
I think that is what makes it difference of like if you want more kids or not. Because when I got pregnant with Sophia, mind you, Sophia's dad is not very present, right? And I was like, obviously at the time, like, I did not want to have an abortion. I just said, you know what, like, I'm going to keep her, and we're going to work through it, right? And I had her, mind you, a lot of the time I was very sad. I was alone, so at the time I'm like, I do not want any more kids. Like, none at all. Like, I don't want any more kids. I met Aaron, and it changed. I'm like, you know what? I want more kids with my person this time, you know? And when I got pregnant with her, the pregnancy was different.
With Valeria.
With Valeria, yeah. So I have a 4-year-old and an 11-month-old, right? So Valeria, when I was pregnant with her, I gave birth to her. We came home, just like Maria said, healthy. I have a husband who helps me a lot.
Sorry, I apologize.
Okay, and back at it again.
Okay, anyways, where do we leave off?
Healthy partners
make the difference.
Make more babies.
Make more babies. Yes.
Give me like 4 years, okay? And then we'll have another one. But yeah.
Can me and Silvana answer now?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't got kids, but we might have some input now.
I wanted to ask you guys that. Do you guys want kids? Like, is that something you would see in your future?
For the longest time, if you would have asked me, I would every time hard no, 100%. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I did not want to have children. I'm still not sure completely, like 100%. But now being with Marco, and he wants children, like with me, and we've talked about it in the future, and I said that it's a possibility that I would like look into. Mm-hmm. I only didn't want children because was because I grew up with like 6 brothers and sisters. So there's so many of us. And I always felt like I had to like outdo everyone to get like kind of like some attention. Love my mom. She was very attentive with all of us, but to the best that she could, you know? And like, she like, I was with Maria. We were in volleyball. Our parents weren't there. Everybody else's parents were there, but ours were not.
Yep. Yep.
So we bonded over that.
For real.
In high school. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. And then like my money, like I'm a career woman. That's how I am. And I was like, well, I don't really want to not do something in my career because I have a kid or whatever. And there's women in my field, not very many, but women in my field that do have children and they're completely fine with it and stuff. I think it just really depends on like the company you go to and stuff. So we're gonna have 2 children, a boy and a girl. That's how it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how it's gonna be.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you
we're
want
manifesting.
Right. I was like, if you want a boy the first time, it's exactly going to be a boy.
But I'm gonna be like an older mom. I think I said like I'm gonna be like 30
You know what?
when I
That's
have
the
my
trend
first
right
mom.
now.
Yeah.
That is the trend right now.
If I like were to wait, if I were to have a child when I want to, probably be 30, and from the ages of 30 to 34. If I don't have a children in that window, we're not having them.
But see, like everyone thinks different. Cause I feel like I don't want to have kids at 30. Like I want to have my kids now.
It's kind of older, you know. It is. You know, when they're like 18, I'm gonna be like almost 50 or.
But
whatever.
also that age, that gestational age or whatever, it's gotten higher to have safe pregnancies, because before, if you were 30, it was like, damn, you too old, like, oh my gosh, so you're gonna have high risk, you're gonna be high risk, blah blah blah. And I think now if you're like 34, 35, they will still consider you high risk because of your age. But like women have women have babies at 40.
A girl in high school whose mom had a baby, I think she was almost 50, she was like 48 I think when she had a baby. And like the next oldest, he was like 18 or something, 20 years old. There was like a 20-year gap. So it's crazy how late people are having babies.
And they actually say the percentage of women 40 plus getting pregnant surprisingly is a lot higher. At least that's what I've heard.
Now
2020.
Now
and it's more common for them to have multiple kids.
I see the memes where it's like, oh, like I don't want to have a kid when I'm that old because I want to be wilding in my 40s instead of like having children. But it's reversed. You get to enjoy your 20s.
That's true.
That's how I see it.
Yeah,
I literally turned 22.
I'm not trying to be at the club at 40 years old. I want to be at the club now. Nah.
You barely want to be there.
No, not barely.
But like, okay, so 40 plus moms, nothing against them, love, but it's like,
she's like, hey,
but it's like, I don't know, like I feel like now in my 20s, like I can go running after my kids, go to the park at 40 years old. I don't be at home trying to get that kid to go to bed every single hour.
That's what I got Marco
I'll
for.
be tired.
Period.
So like if you have kids and you're older, I don't know, like you might not have that much energy to
I mean,
be
I don't know.
outside.
It depends on the person. I be seeing some tired 20-year-old moms, and like it depends on the person. If you take care of your mental and physical health up until your 40s, 50s, you can be healthy enough to care for a toddler, just like our grandparents do. Otherwise, you know,
but it do be different. First of all, your parents be treating your kids way different than they treat you.
For real.
The grandparent
mom,
For real.
No, that's the plan.
Spoiled.
Is that, like, I'm gonna still continue with the career, and I'm gonna like retire my mom, but she's gonna watch my children.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
While
That's
I'm
how
it should be a
working.
career.
Yeah. So that'd be nice, and that'd be the dream. I've already talked to her about it and stuff, so she's chill. But
So she's chill. She agrees. We have her consent.
yeah.
Good.
What about you, Naylin? Do you want bendies?
I mean, they'll be bendiciones if they come, but right now I'm like 50-50. Like sometimes I do really want it. There's a pressure, I feel like, sometimes with the time clock with women, which like we just talked about.
Yeah.
There's a pressure, like sometimes it does get to me like, oh my God, what if I'm like 40 and like I have a health issue. Like right now I'm healthy, right? But then I'm like, what about later? Like, and I can't. So sometimes there is a little bit of pressure, but I feel like I don't want to rush something just because of the norm of having, everyone has to have kids. Like I also feel like, honestly, I don't think I've met anyone who decided they didn't want to have kids that isn't happy. They're probably out traveling.
It's a stigma that like if you don't have kids, that like
You're gonna
you're
die
weird
lonely.
or something. Like, what are you gonna do when you get older? Enjoy life and
No, for
keep
real.
traveling. But
Yeah.
not that you can't do that with children. It's just a lot
It's
harder.
gonna be hard.
Seems, you know, real
Yeah,
hard.
I do envy the people that don't have kids sometimes because I'm like, I have to worry about finding a babysitter. I have to worry about, okay, like I'm breastfeeding. I need to like take time out of the day to go pump my milk out or else my boobs are going to hurt all day. And I like, you have to think about that because you have another human being you have to look after. But when you don't have kids, you're just like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the store. I don't have to worry about taking no kids out of the car seat. I can go in and out. I could be in the store for hours and not like, it doesn't matter. But now it's like you have to plan your trips around your kids' schedule.
What'd you do today? Go to Walmart? That's it? That was
That
what we
was
did.
an
accomplishment, actually.
It was
Shit, that's all I did too. And I don't got kids. No, but and then I do also feel like gosh, I was gonna say like I'd rather regret, like I don't want to regret having kids, I guess. So I'd want to be patient about it. That's
honestly,
all. And the partners make a difference. Like you guys, you're all now with someone that you like want to have kids with because you know like you're gonna have the help. So that makes it.
I mean, but I wasn't before. Like, not gonna say I didn't love Noah's dad when I was with him. Yeah, you know, we loved each other. Like, just things happened. Did Noah come at a very unexpected time? Absolutely. Like, I was 19. Had him whenever I was 20. So
She didn't beat teen pregnancy.
no, I did not. But I did graduate high school. I was the first to do that in my family. So I did that. But I don't know. Like, you would think you would regret, like, oh, man, I do. There's some things I wish I could have done that I didn't because I had a child young. But do I regret it? Absolutely not.
That's true.
The love, dude, so unconditional. I love Angel to death. I will marry that man. We can live to the ends of or whatever, grow old together.
Angel pop the question.
But thank
Where
you.
Where you at?
This is like third episode in a row that we
like, babe, stop. Like, I get it. All right.
No pressure.
But the love I have for my children will always surpass anything.
That's true.
Anything and everything. I don't give a shit who you are. My kids will come first, regardless.
Also, another thing is I've seen like an observation of people who do have kids. Sometimes I feel y'all got life more together than people who don't got kids. Like, but we don't. We're allowed to not have it. Sometimes like it'd be the people that don't have kids. We're all depressed, and y'all are like, "What are you depressed
My laundry's
about?"
been sitting in the laundry thing for 3 days
and you guys just
right
make it freaking happen. I don't know. I feel like.
Let me tell you the secret. It's those little hugs that get you through the day.
That's so true.
I'll hug my nieces and nephews. It's fine.
I promise you, it's the best thing in the world. Like, I didn't even know I was having a bad day. I didn't even know I was in a bad mood or just like upset until I was sitting.
He needs to go wash his hands.
Okay.
Pause.
Go ahead. You can go. She's like, espérame. Or like in the mic. I'm like,
espérame.
fuck them kids.
Team FTK.
Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids.
Look what you're spreading.
Do
I agree. You can
stop the
continue,
video?
girl. Nah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, it's like, and I was sitting on the bed waiting. So I didn't know I was having a bad day, and then I was sitting on the bed at night trying to get these kids to get ready to go to sleep. Leo comes in, my 1-year-old, and he just looks at me, and I look at him, and he just gives me like the tightest hug, and I started bawling. I was like I didn't know I needed that, but somehow he knew, and I think that's what gets us tired. Like, that's what gets us moms being so tired and just so exhausted. That's what keeps us going and gets us through.
Oh, kids be healing us, man. It's the purity.
And I promise you. So if you ever need to hug a little kid.
All right, let me pop one out now.
My little Leo, he's a hugger.
He gives the best.
Every day you ask me, like, if I want to have children, it's a different answer. And, like, earlier today, it would have been, like, a yes. But after listening to your guys' birth stories, it's a no.
I know. I'm like, well, at first I was like, it depends on the weekend. Because
what's my mood?
sometimes I have my nieces and nephews, and I love them all. But I notice I do get a little overstimulated. I think it's just me. So
I tend to talk to children like they're adults,
But
though.
it's because
No, that's how you like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not your kid.
yeah,
though.
I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
Like,
heard that. My
you can
big
give them
sister has
that.
told me that. Like when it's your kids, it's different.
Different.
You have
Very.
different. Yeah.
'Cause I feel like
patience.
I don't have the
Yes.
patience for other people's kids.
Not for
But
me too.
if you give me my kids, and I got
Yeah.
some kind of
She's the
patience.
same.
Not a lot of patience, but
Yeah.
some.
You're like,
know?
if I don't give you patience, I don't know who will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like other people's kids. I'm like, but mine. I'm
Let
like,
me not bring my kids
yeah.
around you then.
No, but it's crazy. It's what's different is like if you give me the baby, like if you give me like obviously your guys' kids, I'll treat them like my own kids. If it's kids I don't know, fuck them kids.
Period.
No,
I like bad kids.
I'm the same way too, Stephanie. I'm with you on that one.
I like bad kids.
Like obviously,
no
I
wonder
feel
you know I
like,
get so along.
yeah, I feel like we've all like us mothers, like we do help each other out. Like I'll go over to Maria's house. I have OCD really bad. I've been cleaning her house. I
Bro,
do.
she
I
has-
go over there with
Right,
my
you need to
kids
come to
and
my
clean her
house.
house.
Maria's like, it's looking a little messy.
You wanna
Hey,
come
Steph,
over?
You want to
Yeah.
come over?
And then like Maria will come over and then she'll help me with my kids, or like
Because
little
Valeria's
breaks.
like super hard to get down for a nap, and like,
But she could put
there
her
was like
down.
2 times in a row that I went over, and I just, girl, let me get that swaddle, let me get that muslin
Yeah,
blanket,
and
just
she'll-
wrap her. She's out.
Yeah, and then like Mixie, the last time she came over, she wiped Sophia's butt. Like, mothers just help each other out,
Because you guys know the stress
Yeah, I
already.
asked you first. I'm like, do you want me to go to the
What is
bathroom
this?
with her?
What is
Like, I
this?
will. What do
Yeah,
I do?
I'm like
Yeah,
that too. I'm like,
are you okay with it?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I'm like, do you wipe his butt? I be trying to teach some kids. I'm like, oh, you don't clean your pee pee when you go pee? No. Okay. Whatever your mom tells you, I'm gonna raise my son to put, But that's okay. That's your mama.
That's your mama.
That's your mama.
Don't ask me, ask your,
Your
mama.
mama. Where's your mama? Anywho.
Next question.
I mean, other than that, I don't know. I just feel like as moms, like we just go through so much throughout the pregnancy, after the pregnancy, that I feel like sometimes like we get lost within ourselves. Like we don't care as much for ourselves, such as like, I don't know, like just trying to find ourselves again.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's also like an issue as a mom. Like I feel like we have to, obviously like the right partner does matter a lot, but at the end of the day, I feel like whether you have like enough time for yourself, like just to even like go do your hair or like just to make you feel pretty. Like, I don't know. Sometimes
That's
we
what I'm
get-
gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna say, how do you guys?
Okay, like let's not
balance
sound
it.
so depressed because we're all like, like, can we not?
No,
Nah, cause bitch retweet.
Not for real.
That's like one of my biggest fears. Like if I do become a mother, is I love my mom to death, and she knows this, and we've talked about it before, but she doesn't like know who she is without like her children, and then my little brother, he's 15, gonna be 16 years old in a couple of days, and soon he's gonna be out, and like I don't know what my mom's gonna do after we leave,
there's
she
not
doesn't
gonna be
know,
anyone in the house.
she doesn't know, there's nobody else, and she doesn't like really know what she likes to do or whatever. She's never like had like an open schedule. So what are some things that you guys do to like try to maintain that?
Oh,
That's
Just
scary.
you saying that. You saying that.
I have heard of that.
Race so bad.
I have heard of that too. Like sometimes, like you do think about the day that your kiddo's gonna move out, but then like I feel like you lose a piece of yourself. Of
No, I
course,
don't,
your
because
children
the
are a
time ain't
piece
here
of
yet. Don't
you.
give me that time right now.
I feel like
My oldest
for
is
me,
6.
for me, I already like my husband will be like, go out, go do something. Like he tries to give me a break. I don't know what to do.
Hit
You
us
know,
up.
like I'm like I really
get-
don't know what to do. And he's like go out, like enjoy yourself, like the podcast was like a really good thing. Oh, you get to go out, like go
Yeah.
out, like have them invite you more, like it's like so you can leave, but
you
like
can
Go,
get out the
Aaron.
damn house.
But,
Bye-bye,
like,
Aaron. Yes.
but
Shout
when he tells
out.
me, he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do? Like, and
All
then
right,
I'll
Aaron.
make
Aaron, say
excuses.
less.
Like,
We're
shout
about
out
to come
Aaron.
through.
Say
less,
If
for
your
real.
if your house is the new party house, just say that.
Yeah.
Just invite us there. We're about to be
He'll
there.
Tell me, he's like, leave, and I'll make excuses to not leave. And I feel like he has to push me sometimes. Like, you need a break. You need a break. Like, he'll say, like, earlier, he was like, what do you want for Mother's Day? I don't know. I don't need anything. I'm fine. He's like, no, like, you could pick a day. Like, go get your hair done. Go get your nails done.
I
Go
would
do
have said
this.
a
Go do
facial, a
that.
massage, a
But,
mani
like,
pedi.
I feel like you do kind of, like, lose a little bit of yourself,
Yeah.
Because, and then, like, right now, I'm with my kids 24/7. And I also am in school. I'm trying to get my college degree, you know.
Period.
We love
Shout
a
out,
smart
she's
queen.
So I
scholar.
literally still have like 2 years. So when my kids are asleep, I'm either cleaning or if I'm done cleaning and there's nothing for me to do, I do homework. And so like when I finally get a little bit of time, I'm like, what do I do with myself? I'll scroll on TikTok. Like that's all I do.
I guess I just want you to know too that sometimes even people who don't have kids who are doing a lot, believe it or not, when we do get some free time, we also be like, all right, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
For the people that work a lot, I guess. I see that a lot in Mixie.
I'm
like
a busy
Mixie, when
bee,
she gets
yeah.
her day off, she's still cleaning. She's still doing something. And sometimes I tell this girl, like, relax, you know?
Siéntate, Noé.
Is cleaning your thing?
Get this in.
He doesn't want me to be in the podcast. He said, not today. Not today, sis. He said, you're not a mother, so bye.
What would it be your input?
No toques eso. No.
So I know they
No
talk
way.
a lot about kids going through separation anxiety, but nobody ever talks about parents or moms going through separation anxiety.
For real.
It's took me such a long time for me to go on a date with Emilio, because the one time I did, I got so sick because I just had a panic attack, and I was just like thinking to myself, like, okay,
A cut?
Do you want me to leave that in? Or
You want to be in the wires. Why? ¿Qué? ¿Vas a para allá?
No le digas no a tu mami. No.
do you want to play with the board game? Okay. Those are $5.
Because that's gonna be added to your tab.
Mixie was like, is that a Kim K game?
I was just about to say that. I'm like, I've been watching your podcast. We in Kim K's house.
House, not for real.
You know?
I'd be scared. My son touch anything, I'm like, oh damn, I ain't got no money to replace.
these are plastic, so he can't really break.
Okay.
Okay.
You come to my house, you're going to find some thrift store stuff.
No, me too.
Some
Deadass.
garage sale stuff.
Deadass, me too.
And I just be bargain shopping, girl.
Just don't
So
fuck with my TV and I'm
whatever y'all break, I can replace.
Yeah, because you have a fucking movie screen.
The nervousness we get.
good.
And
And the action.
action.
Okay, so you were saying
Moms with separation anxiety.
yes.
Yes. Okay. No, that it's just like for me, it's getting better, but it's just hard for me to go out, even on a date night, without thinking about my boys.
kids,
Like,
yeah.
are they okay? Like, I know they're in a safe place, but it's like, okay, what if they need me? What
You
if
get that mom guilt. Mixie,
No,
you
dude,
get that
I
too.
do.
I still get
Yes.
it, yeah.
And it's like, what if they need me and I'm not there? God forbid, what if something happens,
Happens.
and I'm not there?
Yeah,
You know,
true.
and it's just like, you know, being here talking about my kids, like it's like I actually feel great because I'm talking about them. You know, and obviously they're with their dad, but still, you know, even them being with their dad, it took me a long time for me to not think about them. Like I know they're okay, but you know, it's just like
Gosh.
still, it's just like, what if they need me?
Yeah.
Well, like
and yeah, and
2 weeks ago, Angel and I finally had like a little vacation.
Cute.
And like we literally went like glamping for his birthday and stuff like that, and like
Can you explain what that is? 'Cause I don't even know what that is.
glamorous camping. So without the tent, like it was like bougie. Like it was like a little cabin with AC, with a shower, all of that.
No bears.
Nope.
She said,
Actually,
I
it
had to go
could've been.
outside to be outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, and it was crazy even then because like we had more beers to drink because we didn't have the kids, whatever. And it's so funny because even Angel too, like, yes, I had my little separation thing because I breastfeed. So like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is she gonna have enough milk? Like I was freaking out. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then, so I was just thinking about that. And then I was like, oh, I do miss my baby, And then with Angel, it was funny because Avery does this thing where she like blows raspberries. Is that the thing? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And like she makes like little bubbles in her mouth, right? So then, tell me why this man opened a beer and it fizzed up, and he goes, "That reminds me of Avery." I said, "That is sir.
Too cute.
I said, "Sir." I was like, "Okay, we are too drunk for this. We will both cry right now. So yeah, like being like really good. I mean, being good parents, like, dude, it does suck being away from your kids. And then it's like you feel guilty because sometimes you want to be away from your kids. Like sometimes you want to have me time, and like it's like, damn, okay, well I feel bad because I am a parent. I chose to have these kids, you know. Then that's what a lot of people will be like, well, you chose to have them kids, like, and yes, you're right, I did, but also like I understand that, but it's also like you still deserve to have good mental health and have you time.
Definitely.
We probably should have had him do that the whole time.
Had it on.
Ay, qué
My
oficial.
baby's so cute. Okay, so this is obviously like where mothers and two aren't, but you know, like they have their dogs, and I feel like they're always around us. So at the end of the day, like they're the tias, and I don't know, like we're all hard workers, hardworking moms, and just women in general. I feel like we just all go through things, and just in life,
you guys give us a glimpse of like motherhood. Like the ups, the downs, and everything. And like I super commend all of you guys for having one child or more, or however many you have, because it's crazy and it's hard. And you guys are you have to be the least selfish people in the world. Over here, like we're considered selfish, but it's good to be selfish and be yourself. But like you guys are doing amazing. Your kids are gonna be growing up all together and growing up to be amazing people.
We're gonna babysit your kids. Our kids are gonna babysit your kids.
Ain't no way. Don't sign me up to be babysitting.
Nah. By the time you have kids, your kids gonna be grown up. We can drop them off.
I was gonna teach them what dinosaurs are.
Period. At that point, he wants to be a veterinarian. But
we'll have their kids babysit our kids.
That's what I was saying. Like our kids are gonna babysit your kids.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us. This is the Mendigas, and to our special guest, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you guys. It was a little crazy.
So
It was a lot
and
crazy.
my Mendigas was just all over the world, but you know, thank you. Like, subscribe, Mendigas.
At the Mendigas podcast on Instagram,
Spotify, TikTok, and Apple Podcasts.
Hey.
Period.
And we'll see you next week.
time. Okay, bye.
Okay,
Bye. Did I bye?
Bye.
Dile adios. Adios, amigos. Hello.
Sorry, girl.
Hello.